Yeah. So hello everyone that is watching this recording. Uh, so uh, just for you to know, I was talking to Jen and Sylvia about uh, an idea of Sylvia that came and that I really appreciated. That is creating a structure in the school for the guidances of rose meditation to happen in with a frequency, like more times. So in this way, we can strengthen the school, we can strengthen the ones that are rose meditation teachers of level 1 and 2 already. We can create more union between us so we can receive more people now because you're already having your students and we all together can handle and uh, create this structure to to receive these people. And I was talking to them that I really appreciated that for that reason, and I really wanted to give more energy to this, and now is the perfect time because before I didn't really have much time and energy to put on this. And because to teach the level 3 of rose meditation, this is a good way to prepare your energetic body and to have, like an experience with the group inside what uh, we are teaching, because the guidances they bring us to this point. So it's a good way to prepare. So this is like especially for those who are uh, in the teachers training, and I will schedule as well another class that we promised that we would do. And I talked to Angelina. In this one, I'm going to be the one with you guys to do a follow-up to see how you are in your teachings, what are your intentions in this moment, and to organize the training in this sense. But, for me, creating this structure is part of what we can do together to, to continue, basically. So, this is the next step, scheduling this class only with the teachers. And well, I wanted to open here to questions, if you have any, to a sharing, if you feel like, Jen and Sylvia, as we are few, maybe we can do that in this moment. And I can, if you don't have anything, well, I can share what I was thinking as well. So it's open for you to share or to ask your questions.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
So this concept is basically that once a week, there's a slot in which one of the teachers, the practicing teachers, is teaching the rose meditation, and any of our students, people that we've taught, basically can show up to this open time and get the practice from
Yeah.
the teachers. Is that it? Like an open hour for English?
Yeah, it's a guidance.
That
Remember that we do like a live guidance online, so everyone can do a meditation together. So
yes.
it's not a time exactly to answer questions or to teach, but
Right.
just to guide. So in Brazil, we have it. So someone, the person that is guiding opens the room and do the guidance as we were doing for in the training.
Can I
So
show up to that? Can I go to the Portuguese one?
you what? You
I
can.
want to go to the one in Portuguese.
Well, you can. I don't know if you will understand much, but maybe you can.
But that's how I learn, right? Explosion.
Yeah. Expl Explodia Rosa.
Explosion Roja.
Yeah.
See?
Almost a Portuguese speaker. Yeah, but basically
Now.
it's very simple. There's someone opening the room in the proper time and doing all the guidance as we uh uh well, in this last course it wasn't exactly like this because everything was different, but um yeah, because this is nice for people to meditate at the same time. It's different when we do like a recorded meditation or when we are meditating by ourselves. When we are in a group, we have the energy of the group in that moment. So we can do a deeper cleansing.
I would really like this. And also my question is this hour of guidance, is it usually just going to be level one or level one and two?
Three levels.
So the
So
whole, okay.
yes, and
Cool.
what we do in Portugal, because like we have people that have learned all levels in the same room. So what we do, we guide until the first level, and then we say, for those who has only the first level, you can put both of your hands on the floor to discharge, and then you can leave the room, for example. And then you continue with everyone of level two, and then when you finish level two, you can say, okay, those that has a level two, cut your grounding cord, fulfill yourself with the light, with the energy of the golden sun. You can put me inside of a robe, blah, blah, all the closing parts you do with the level two, and then you continue with the level three, and
Yeah.
then you finish. So in this way, we contemplate everyone and we trust, if there is someone there, that doesn't have a level and keep on doing it, this is the responsibility of the person. And in this moment, as we are not, a big group, because, like we are starting, we will know. So if you see that in the room, there's only people that has until no one has just the level one. You don't need, to guide, like for those who has level one, like you don't need to. And yeah, so and this is a way, for example, the students of Diego get to know you and Sylvia and the other teachers. So, it's a way of starting building, not start, yeah, in this sense for these people, yeah, to start nourishing the community as well, because you will know everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if we have the recorded guidances of everyone as well, it's very nice because, oh, I am tired of only listening one kind of guidance. So you have it all. And yeah, people can get to know everyone that is involved on this.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited. Me and Sylvia pretty much read about this, I think, on some level. So I feel like this is just like, oh, that's what that image meant. Like, I feel like this is just continuing our conversation, but now with words here.
Oh,
So,
really? You exchanged
yeah,
the reading with an
yeah.
image like this? Really? Can you
It's,
share the image with me? I would like to hear.
well, the one that's coming to
What part? Go ahead,
Huh?
because I don't know exactly which one you're talking about,
mind.
but go ahead.
It's like multiples in my head because when I read with Diego, I read and there was this like school building in this colorful
Mhm.
place, and I was there, and it was like about aura and rose meditation in a way. And then Sylvia and I read together, and I saw Sylvia like in the same place. It was like the same building with the same colors, like very colorful, and it was like kind of like this place where people learn rose meditation pretty much. And it was like a bunch of adults. Remember this one? And then you were taking these like 3D people and helping them cross the bridge to consciousness. Like it was like literally a bridge. That was with Sylvia. So I think conceptually and it was the same place that I had seen when I read this thing with Diego. So for me it was like there's something related here with the three of us at least on this, and I don't know what, and now it's like, oh well, here's this idea coming. So that's how I see it.
And Jen, I had an idea here, but again, we need to be with the whole group of teachers, in fact. But what we can do is to first create this structure to make these guidances to really work, and then you can guide a lot. You can have time to give more courses of level 1 and 2 because it's important for you to give a feel of this. And in a proper moment, we can schedule the level 3, and those who are ready to do it, because I don't know, we will gather, I will see, but you could do it together as well the first time, because it's much easier. It can be much lighter to everyone to open the energy in this sense. And probably, if you are guiding to these people that are the students of all of you that are coming, they will already know the ones that are guiding, and these ones are giving the level 3 together. And once you do that, with the group, probably then you can do it by yourself. But at least, the first one or the first and the second one is good to do at least with one other person, so you can be more stronger, energetically speaking. Because, well, as you saw exactly in this place that I am.
Yikes. How do you even sit there? Are you like traumatized?
It's because I'm far
You're like
away,
right on the edge.
You're coming to the
Dara,
same
please
place.
move your chair forward. You're making oh my God.
I am far away. Well,
Are you far away enough?
yeah. This time I'm safe. Now I really take care of, the physical space where I am. But well, we have to be prepared energetically, because
I'm not prepared
things
for
can happen.
that.
But like it's part of the journey, to become stronger in this sense. So yeah, doing it together is much easier. And
Okay.
if we are looking in a broader way, creating this, it's very good for the people to have the guidance and blah blah blah, but it's very good what happens in the invisible, that is this union between you, to make you stronger as a group, to prepare yourselves to really teach level 3. Because there is like a field that is built, as well in the astral plane. So when we create this kind of things, we are creating the structures of the aura reading school in the invisible realm as well. And it helps us to deal with everything that people are cleaning. So for me, this is beautiful, and it's important to see that we are going to be working in these practical matters, but as well in the energy field. We are creating it. And when I think about it, when I feel it, I am really excited, because with this, we start to create a new wave with the school in English, because it's not only like me, Angelina, inviting Peggy and Caro to contribute with the classes, and we know we preparing. It's like you taking another step to be holding the space for the aura reading, rose meditation, dreams, if you feel like training with dreams as well, to ground it, to another step to receive more people, to really receive this structure, and uh yeah, I guess we are prepared. I really feel that. So any questions, any sharings, or how you are? Jen, you can stay here until what time? Because Sylvia, I know she has to leave.
Let's see, it's 11:30. And this goes till 1 normally. I think I can stay the whole time unless
Okay.
you don't want to stay the whole time. Whatever you want, whatever
Okay.
you want there. I'm here. I freed everything up. I was like,
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I don't like when things get in the way of aura reading. I feel like I'm like, no, you're not the
Yeah.
priority.
Yes, even if we are us here, sometimes it's like this. And yeah, I feel that, ah, and we are going to schedule as well the courses. I guess today I'm going to meet with Angelina to schedule Aura 1, 2, and 3
Perfect.
in English. So be prepared because we'll have Aura 3 probably the beginning of next year. I guess it will be in January or February, depending on how things go. And yeah, let's see. Diego is coming to Alto Paraíso as well to spend time with us there, and he's with all these plans. And let's see what is going to happen.
Plans.
Huh?
I'm like joking, but I'm like, I'm scared of his plans.
Yeah, I am very excited, in fact, with his plan. So
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
it is coming in a perfect timing.
It's all divinely perfect timing. I'm so excited. I don't know how it's all going to evolve out, but there's so many ideas brewing. So I think it is really, really exciting time.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
what I wanted to talk to you is because I was feeling this morning that until now we are functioning in this way, and probably Angelina's class they can be in this way because it's very magical to just come with her and see what pops up, and she can bring the group to whatever we can go. But, I am in a different place because my role here is to help the building of the school. My role here is about structure as well. So I was thinking, how can I direct the classes in a way to prepare people to do what they want to do with oral reading and be more goal oriented because I like to function in that way as well, you know? So I was like, well, maybe I can talk to them and ask what kinds of subjects do you want to tap in, and how are you dealing with oral reading in your lives? How can I create, classes in a way to support you in the best way possible? So, what I thought to this class, because Sylvia asked me as well, about it, is to start, not to start because we are already doing it, but to use this time uh, to talk about her reading in a way of how it can function as a therapy and why it is different from other kinds of approaches, you know? And yeah, so please, tell, bring me subjects that you want to go further, because I can create these moments. And well, I am committed as well of thinking about it as well. And so we can take a better time together, in this way, to really go deeper, or use our reading in the best way possible, in the way that you want to use it, that are coming. So I guess Jen has an interest in that as well, in looking how our reading can be a therapy, and that is different from others. So, okay, so both of you here, perfect, the subject today. I was thinking, maybe I can wait for more people to be in the class, but I will talk about it today and people see the recording. And if they have questions, I can answer. And while I speak, you can share even your experience as well, and make your questions, and because this is like my vision after listening to Angelina and other teachers that are working with our reading, and working with our reading as a therapist, because in a first moment, I didn't see myself as a teacher, but I really saw myself as a therapist. And I love this place, because being a teacher of our reading is something, and being a therapist of our reading is something, and using therapy and using our reading as a connection to your own spirit is another thing, because our reading, it's not necessarily a therapy. We can use it as a therapy, but it's a way, very clear, when we do a self-reading, to connect to our own spirit. For me, this is like one basic approach, like one basic function of our reading, and for me, the most important one. And of course, because of the images that we open, we can know more about ourselves, and we can see where we are. We can work with our own energy. We can clean our energy. So it's a way of working with our energetical body as well, and owning our own energy and owning our own life. But there is a very important point here related to neutrality, because there are moments, there are issues that it's very difficult for us to open, because it moves us a lot. We have a lot of beliefs. We have our programs, or situations can happen in life and we are triggered. So we cannot manage our own energy, depending on circumstances and, our challenges, really, because we all have our I didn't learn this expression in our reading school, but I really love it. I learned it with my tantric teachers. We all have our black balls. The black balls are like big issues, that we go over and over and over again until, we manage. But sometimes it's a lifetime. And to deal with these things that are not that easy for us, especially, we can use our reading as a therapy. So to have another person prepared to read and to manage, to handle things that we cannot, it's very nice. So, of course, we can exchange our reading. We can have a other person reading us as well, just to connect. Because when we do our reading to a person, we feel like, oh my God, I barely know you, and I already feel like you are a super friend because we really see ourselves. But I am not going into that. I am going like aura reading as a way of therapy. And this is my vision, where we can help people to go into that difficult points, but as well to open energies that maybe the person is not being able to see. And not because sometimes it's something traumatic or because the person is triggered or something that we can relate to difficult energies, but because this is very different. Like this is something very new to the person related to themselves. So what it can be in a practical way? Gifts, talents, things that the person couldn't perceive in themselves because they weren't ready. And then they passed through things in life that now in this moment, boom, the person is ready to see something about themselves. And it can be like as well gifts, things about them, or even about their own path, possibilities that can open. And that is difficult as well to the person to validate it by their own sometimes, because like it can be something like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this is true. Is it really real? Is it really for me, for example? And then comes a therapist and bang, yes. So it can be about neutrality to see, and it comes together. It comes together. And validation. These are two words very important, as you already know, in the that the aura reading can bring if we are looking at it in a therapeutical way. And how is it, because it is different for from psychotherapy or psychology or even other kinds of energetical therapies, because it's not something that we are doing like weekly, because of the nature of the aura reading, because of the function of the aura reading, because it can show us where we are, it can clean us, and let's see, help us grow in consciousness about our path, our moments of who we are in the present moment. And we see things. And my sensation is that some veil, they they uh, they fall apart, and we are strengthened as well as spirits to be more whole, in our decisions, to understand really who we are in that moment. And but it's like this. And because it's not a work only for our minds, or to process feelings, or to process information that is in the body, it is something that is related to the spirit and to the energetic realm, and that can make us, work with all the bodies, in fact, through the energetic body. It's a therapy that I can say, that in, in the field of the miracles as well. But what is a miracle here? It's not, there is like a science, of the miracle. We start understand better, what a miracle is, in a sense. Why? Because when the person is ready, it's like, for me, is a sum of factors, because it's like the person is ready to see or to receive something. The therapist or the person that is reading is able to see it, because it's like a combination. And there's like the moments for the person, and we can attract synchronicities. But it's not because we have like these, I don't know, I forgot in English. How is that we do, like, that we create magic, like a boom?
Magic wand.
Exactly, a magic wand. It's not because we have it. We have it too, somehow, our reading, but it's not only that, it's like the person, the moments, and all of it. And we create this kind of alchemy where we can help synchronicities to happen in life. So this is why, as well, sometimes it's like in the moment, in the day, like it's something like very at the time, things happen. But sometimes it takes a little longer, like in the week that the person did the reading, the next day something happens, in the relationship. So what I saw, like people that couldn't find a relationship, and then another reading, and open the field to meet the person the same week, or to find a job, or I guess I already told you the story of a man that I was reading, that the daughter wouldn't speak to him. And while I was reading, the girl called him. And like really crazy things can happen, because we are moving an intelligence that is bigger than us, and it's an art of how can I say, understanding, not exactly with the mind, but like synchronizing with the universal laws, with the uh, even the laws of manifestation. It's like the hermetic principle in practice. We can see that with our readings. So it can be very complementary to other kinds of therapy, because this is what Sylvia asked me, and I can share with you my own experience with that, because I began with our reading. This was my first, but this is my path, like Peggy deals with that in a different way, Angelina deals with that in a different way. They don't do any kind of therapy anymore. They just use our reading, but I don't. I have another therapist, a body worker that works. For example, I work with people in this sense, and I have a therapist of another line as well that I like to work to have a complementary approach. In my vision, it's only a vision. So I started with our reading, and I was 2 years of training to become a therapist. In that time, it was like in 2015, 16, and 17. And what I felt at that time, because the school was different as well, we learned a lot, girls. You cannot imagine how the training was in my time. But, well, what I start feeling at that time is that I was kind of disconnected to my body, because doing our readings and all of it, I would stay a lot of time in the energetic field, in the more subtle chakras, and I was feeling my body strange. I was weighing 20 kilos more than what I am weighing, really. And feeling weird. I wasn't like acquainted to my body. And working with our reading made it worse for me. So this is when I discovered Tantra and body therapies that could help me to get in touch with my body, and to help me to digest what I was seeing in our readings. Because what happened as well is that when we read a lot, we have a lot of mirrors. So I was seeing a lot of things, and I wasn't being able to really understand it inside of me, to really digest it, to really, how can I say, ground that energy. So this kind of therapy that would bring my conscious, for example, to the body, to feel the energy, to integrate that energy, to see how it really happens, like in a practical way, it was very helpful to me. So, and it was to me, but I was many times, for example, some of our readings that I would do, people would be happy with only with our reading, and great, they would do their work alone. But many would come to me and ask, okay, so how do I put it in practice? How can I work with that? And I And I felt, okay, I want to help these people because really I was seeing that they need more time. They needed more time to work towards what was coming. And because that method was really working for me, I studied that and I started bringing it to my work. So I would start always with an aura reading because why? And I have some reasons after some years of experience. Because I can connect to the person in a very deep level that sometimes in psychotherapy and other, you take a while to really click, to really do this resonancia too. I don't know this word, but I guess Jen could get it,
It's
right?
you're there. It's resonance.
Resonance, exactly.
That's fine.
So the person can really trust you and you can really bond, and even to the transference to be able to happen, you know. So in an hour reading, this is like boom, immediately, you know. So you already connect to the person in the first session in a very deep level. And then sometimes people think their issue is something, but then when we open the reading, we see it. And sometimes it is really what the person was bringing, but it's always very rich because always the person says, oh my God, I wasn't really realizing that, or that, or maybe we see that the root of the thing is much deeper than what the person was thinking, you know. And we can already start this process of exploring more what the issue is, like from a deeper point or a broader point with more information. And as well, we can save a lot of sessions, you know, with that because we have more clarity of the issue. And an energetic cleansing, because sometimes as well the person arrives in a certain vibrational quality, you know, and after the reading, it's already a relief because the person was recognized as a spirit. So as well, to the next sessions, we can let's say, yeah, the person can be more cleansed to be energetically speaking as well, and more aligned to the spirit. So we can go deeper in whatever method we are working. The person is more fitting themselves, like they are more aligned with themselves, so we can really work. Because I see, you know, that sometimes we take a lot of time just for the person to be able to, well, these in different methods, they say different things, but to be connected to the self, to not be only pa 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 and speaking like a parrot, or not in contact with what is really happening. And we take a lot of time to the person feel themselves. And different studies, you know, about, I was reading another day this. It doesn't really depend on the method, but the most efficient therapy processes are the ones that people are in touch with what is really happening, with their feelings. There is like this quality of awareness of the feelings, of the connection to the self. And with our reading, this can happen much more faster as well. because if we don't do it, I already tested many things, the person takes more time to really arrive to the process. So we can skip as well this. So we save a lot of energy and money and a lot of things to the person and to ourselves as well, because this is a very difficult part for the therapist as well. Yeah. So how I would work in that time when I began. So aura reading first, because all of that reasons I am sharing you. And then I created, oh yeah, Sylvia.
When you say that you start by the aura reading, is it a general aura reading, or you set an intention for the aura reading to be more specific to the therapeutic process that is going to start?
Mm-hmm. In the beginning, because I didn't have much experience, I started with a general reading. And I felt at that moment that it was very nice, because exactly because of that, that I told, that people think that many times, that they come so obsessed with some issue that they are not seeing the big picture. And with the general or reading, I could connect the person to the whole picture. And if there is a very strong issue, it will come in the general reading, because this is what is really important for the person to see in the present moment. So, yeah. And then, but I will tell you that, but this with years of practice, what started happening is that I was becoming better and better of going directly to the point with the person. So with the thematic aura reading. And really, I would do readings to answer the person's question. But this was, yeah, after. But I guess you can go faster, because now we have a different structure. I guess after 6 or 7 years, I really felt safe to do that. And then 2 years from now, I started doing our readings with my eyes opened in the middle of the session. So this is perfect, girls, because what started happening to me is that the person started describing things, and I already start seeing images coming from the person. And when it happens, I now say, now what I'm going to tell you, it's like it came from your aura. So it's an image. And I share to the person the image that I saw. And now it's very fast. I see the image and I already know the message because it's there. The person is speaking. So, and then I bring, and then the person say, yes, you brought words to what I was saying. And then we go deeper, and then I start reading them with my eyes open. And it can happen with practice. And it really helps because nowadays, because I work with the body and I studied a little bit of psychoanalysis and aura reading, it's a way of working with people in all the dimensions of life with different kinds of approaches, depending on what the person needs in that moment. Because sometimes when the person comes, they really need to speak. They need to speak. They need a time just to be heard. So we can open this space with a different quality of listening when we are, for example, inside of ourselves, recognizing the person as a spirit. It makes the whole difference. So when we are looking at the person with this aura reading technique, for example, we already create a different atmosphere of embracing the person, and listening with that presence. And well, in my case now, I receive the person and I open myself to see images. And then in the end, after the person spoke, I share what I saw of what they were speaking. And this is very nice. But sometimes the person already knows a lot, already spoke a lot. It's not like in this, let me just get out of WhatsApp. Sometimes the person needs to get in touch with the issue. It's not with the mind, it's not exactly with the reading because the person already knows, but they need to get in touch with that. So this is when I use these body consciousness work, because it's a way of getting in touch, and then the person, it's a way of processing it with the body in the more material, dense part of existence. And I go with the feeling of the person and with the body, with the emotions, and this. So yeah, so nowadays I do like this, I work with people in like a spiritual, energetical way, mainly with aura reading and rose meditation, with those that I give sessions that have done rose meditation to me, because I use rose meditation inside the session. You can do that as well. I can share some experience. So I use that. Of course, when they are sharing, I use, and this is my weakest part, okay? But I studied a little bit of psychoanalysis to develop, the clinical thoughts and to understand the psychodynamic of the person. I use that. This can be in usage of the spirit. Of course, I'm not going to force things, but having this understanding helps me to go further with the person, according to what I read, because of this understanding that it can give me. And so it's very good, when they speak, when I see, because I start understanding it. And then I work as well with this with this body, with the emotions, through tantra, to somatic experience, through bioenergetic analysis. That is this way of feeling the self in not here in the spirit, because already is something that bring awareness, and this is something that I am studying, in this moment, because it's a kind of awareness. But what I see that many times we need is it's to bring it here, here, and to understand how it happens here and now in my body, because I can make a sense of it and I know how to act. So depending on, I work in this way.
That is so interesting, Dara, and and I can totally relate with what you're saying, which oftentimes, even when I'm doing my own therapy, conceptually, I get it. The integration is the hard part. It's like I understand all the techniques, I understand all that you're trying to bring, um, the psychology behind it, but the integration, sometimes it takes a long time for me to really feel it in my body. Like, yeah, okay, finally I got there. Like, even coming to Alto Paraíso now for those 2 weeks, that helped me integrate a lot of things that I have been discussing and talking for months, if not years. It was really when I felt like, okay, I think I'm getting it now in it, like really getting there, you know? So yeah, I mean, I think it's wonderful the way you work, bringing that awareness because it's so needed.
It is. And our reading brings a kind of awareness, and the body work, it's another kind of awareness. And why? This is me speaking according to my experience, girls. So nothing written about it, but what I see. Because our reading brings us the consciousness of the spirit. So it helps us in this, in getting in touch with who we are in a conscious way. I don't know, in this plane. And the body work and this consciousness that comes with the feeling, with giving time, for example, to be with uncomfortable emotions and to help this digestion to occur in the body. It's another kind of knowledge. It's more down to earth, and it helps us to understand who we are uh, in a more practical sense. It's not just I know who I am, but I feel who I am. I understand the path inside of myself of how really being it. Sometimes, depending on the issue, only another reading is fine. But I see that when it's something I don't know, that is like a quantic leap that we do in our path, what can make things much more smoothly and helps us is this work with the body as well. Because I have seen, for example, people going to Piracanga in the time of Piracanga. People would see a lot of things, and then when they return to their lives, they would be a little bit of a mess because they would expand so much, so much. And okay, it's part, and come back to life. Oh my God, how to do that? It's like a pop in the face. And when we include the body and when we give time, but this is my way of working. Angelina could come here and say, Dara, you are full of crap, because sometimes she does this kind of thing. But for me, it works. For me, it is like this. Uh, uh, when we give time to the body to digest, to feel, for example, what I like so much, to do a little bit of focusing. Focusing is to understand, okay, what I'm feeling, understanding about the felt sense. Felt sense is, well, it's another concept of understanding what is my interior atmosphere in this moment, which includes sensations, emotions, things that I cannot describe, but that I can feel, and be with that. And then see, for example, oh my God, my heart is calling my attention because there is like a contraction here, and I am feeling this contraction. And when I am with this contraction, I access a pain and I started crying, for example. I'm just giving it. So this is a way of helping our body to digest information. And now that came to me, that technique that we use in the thematic or reading, spirit, consciousness, body, personality, when the difference is big. For me, this is a way of aligning it somehow. working with this part is like, okay, just let me give space to my body to catch up with what is happening in a spiritual level, you know? And uh, it can be more sustainable with time and more the coming back, for example, of these processes that we do, can be easier. But like this, I developed girls with 7 or 8 years of experience, like really studying other things. So I studied like 4 years analysis, bioenergetic analysis in a master that I have done, all every month having classes. So I really dedicated myself to search other ways of working, and for me, and now like a personal sharing, I was like for me was the challenge was that I didn't really have a supervision in what I was doing fully, because people of bioenergetic analysis, they don't have an idea of what aura reading is. For them, I was sometimes I was very misunderstood, because it was like in this thing of mysticism, or people are judging a lot, and they are very uh, okay, but uh, at the same time, I felt, what was there behind, and in our reading school, people don't have any idea of what a body work is, or psychoanalysis. Some time ago, there was like Amelia studying that. It was a little bit awkward what happened. That I really felt it was in my path, So okay, I started doing that without a supervision completely. So what I started doing, what they encourage, but I am talking about it because maybe you can feel in that sense in your path, So when I was doing a session of bioenergetic analysis, for example, in the beginning, I was doing that automatically, in fact, spare, okay, no, I cannot do aura reading here because I would not be able to explain to the supervisor what I'm doing, even though in that time I already could do a little bit of readings, with my eyes open. So how I'm going to explain to the supervisor what I'm doing? And I tried to do that. But I saw that uh, my power of what I could reach to with the person wasn't going there. I saw that I wasn't really taking advantage of my whole potential, because it wasn't not like not using aura reading, but I had to split myself to do that somehow. I was spending a lot of time, a practical example, with my mind, with my energy. No, this I cannot. So with this thing, this I cannot, my attention was being dispersed, and I wasn't catching everything that I could catch. So I shared that with my supervisors. Said, well, did I do my thing exactly how I feel I should do, even though I don't know if I will be able to explain everything to you, but can I try? And a teacher said to me, yeah, go ahead and try to do your thing. And then what happened? And this is the first time that I'm sharing that with you, you know. And I passed through all the tests. I was the one like giving sessions and it was fine. I did it all, but I used already. So what I discovered that I would do the aura reading that because in this therapy we do moves as well, you know, like we use the body. So I would see what I had to do because I was reading in the aura of the person. And then I would do that. And after I would understand with my mind what I did and why. So when the person that was evaluating like that was giving me the grade would ask me things, I knew what to say, but I knew what to say after, not before. So and I could explain because they said, if you can give me a way of thinking inside of the bioenergetic, I don't care what you do. I said, okay. So, okay. So I started doing it. And that was a breakthrough to me. I read first, I feel the body first, because I started reading how to feel the body. This is crazy, but this is how it happened. And then I would do according to the body and according to what I was feeling in the field, and then I would explain. Uh, so my sessions started changing in that way. And before I would do first a session of our reading, as I described it to you. Then I would do a cycle of what I called terapia dos sentidos, because I would, I would mix everything that I knew, but basically I would go to the body and to this other way of accessing people, but I would do that separately in 3 sessions to open the energy, the main energy that the aura reading brought. I would open, I would go deeper, and I would close the cycle of focused therapy according to a theme that people would choose in the beginning. And then what I would do is like do or a new aura reading or start a new cycle in that time. But then after I was developing this way, I now start with an aura reading many times, and then it's not that there is no separation as before. You know, when the person is speaking, I am reading all the time. I am doing according to my intuition all the time. And of course, I am listening to the person, and I am always searching for this understanding, because this understanding is very important to ground the process so the person can know where the person is. But this is a consequence. This is what I see now, you know, this is like a consequence. And I do our readings from time to time, but it's much more fluid. So, for example, a person is passing through a lot of changes in life that is doing therapy with me for like a lot of years. And then I said, okay, I guess now is a good time to do an aura reading. Or in their birthdays, at least, because I do birthday aura reading that is different from the others. So we do. But now it is included inside of the session. And depending on the need, I go for a different door. and I shared my challenges. So I want to listen to you a little bit because Sylvia is a therapist. No, I guess you are a psicóloga, né?
No, I'm
No.
not a psychologist,
Mm,
but I'm a social worker and I am a psychotherapist.
mm, mhm,
And I was identifying myself with everything that you were saying as you were when you were describing how how you begun and how you felt and how also you felt like, supervision was a challenge because you didn't have one person that understood all the sides to help you. Um, I've been, studying different things. And I mean, I love oral reading, but there are other things as well that attract my attention. Um, I find, I've been studying body language as well as a way of how the body speaks, depending on where you have pain or whatever it is, what is that trying to translate? What is the body trying to tell you? And I think that that has so much information as well, you know. Um, with and other things that just attract my attention that I'm always trying to learn new things. And now you're talking about bioenergy. I'm like, oh my God, I need to know about that too. So, kind of like new things that come my way all the time. And I think it's really valid. But I also felt like, but I can't use this here. And of course, I'm not at a position in which I can be an aura reading therapist. And that's however where I want to get to. And I want to be able to bring it all together. To bring it together with body language, with aura reading, with psychology as well, like all of those concepts. And I think that, and my, and I think, was it what brought me to aura reading was after I finished my graduate degree in social work, and I became what we would call a licensed therapist. But I was like, I don't want to be working the way that I've learned. It doesn't talk to me. It doesn't speak to me. It's very limiting. They are forgetting a whole other part, a whole other universe that belongs to that person. And I don't feel good just sitting there listening to the person, having to follow the protocol, knowing that it's not really going deep enough. So then I discovered oral reading and then I thought this could be a wonderful tool to bring in. um, and then body language and psychotherapy. So all of those things kind of like coming together, and I think it's wonderful. But I also feel that within the aura reading and dream school, I mean, it's fine, but it's not like I have a place to bring my understanding of body language into the school, and it's fine. It's different. I can bring with you now. I know, but it's just different, and maybe people will say, well, but you can do an aura reading and find out where that problem is coming from. Yeah, I'm sure that you can. I'm sure that people have different approaches, but what you said validates the feeling that I've been having, that everything can be mixed together. That in its particular way, perhaps in respecting some boundaries within whatever it is, but everything can come in because everything is in service to the person. Everything is helping the person develop and go deeper into their own process. It has helped me for sure. So um, it really validates, it makes me feel stronger about this is the right path. And even though there might be different ways in which I'm bringing things, it's not just one way, it all can work together harmoniously in helping the person as well as helping me. So thank you for sharing your experience.
yes, and I want to share two more things that helped me to have clarity because um, yeah, I'm thinking here just to tell the story, a long story short. there was like this division inside of the school, and I was coming back to the school. So I'm going to share one personal thing here. When I finished my process of becoming a therapist, and Amelia, that was like the wingman of Angelina at that moment, she was very strong in the school, and she was taking care of the path of the therapist. She invited me to be a therapist official of the school. And that time it was very, wow, few were invited. And I was very like, wow, they invited me. But I didn't say yes. Why? Because I was discovering Osho, because Osho was my first contact with the body, with the first chakras, and this thing that was very important to me at that time. And Piracanga was in another place, very different from now, because Prem Baba aligned a lot of things, but I wasn't really seeing myself in the school. Yeah, because I felt I needed to work these things that I was talking to you, and I couldn't work it there. And I felt that I wasn't learning exactly there. So this was the moment that I got out of the school. And then I came back to become a teacher because I wanted to become a teacher in 2020. But what happened? A big division in the school that I guess like 70% of the teachers, they got out of the school. And the teachers that I love the most, in fact, they all got out of the school. And I just didn't go with Amelia in that time because I wanted to become a teacher and she wasn't training teachers. And the division was about this way of working with oral reading because Amelia wanted to include things of the psychoanalysis into the training of therapists, a Jung approach that was like the I don't know how to translate it, but like the psicologia analítica do Jung, analytic psychology of Jung. Okay. Because he worked with images as well. It was very complementary in her vision. She wanted to include that in the school. And at that time, I felt, oh, great idea. Really, I really enjoyed the way that she was working. And but we had to choose at that time with whom you're staying because the lines were very different. And then because I wanted to become a teacher, I stayed in the oral school at that moment. And Angelina, she stood by what I really believe today, and I am really thankful that I stayed in the school, is that our reading is about the spirit. It's something that we have to deliver to the spirit. And Amelia would say, okay, we have to deliver it to the spirit, but we are in the matter. We have a whole path here. We come from the spirit, we go through this human journey, and we come back to the spirit. So to deal with that human aspect, she felt that we had a lot of lacks, and she wanted to, let's say, fulfill no, to to work with that through this, including you and that. And Angelina said, no, 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 no. You are putting the mind inside of our reading, and we do not work from there. And then I felt that I was going much further with Angelina with time because I chose to get out of the school because I felt I stopped learning at a moment. And to be very honest with you, I'm being very honest with you here. And then when I came back with Angelina, I just felt that I was expanding, expanding, expanding. And oh my God, it's endless. But why? Because she works from the spirit that is infinite. So what I learned with her, and I am really integrating, is that we can study whatever we study to understand things, but it's just a tool to use in favor of the spirit. And we learn to open space to the spirit with our reading. And now I'm just realizing it, this thing of doing the reading and then explaining to the person, to the evaluator, what was happening, and putting it in a psychoanalytical way of thinking was perfect. This is what we do, because in the end, we will understand. It's like trusting. It's like trusting the spirit the most, because we'll be able to do that. Because we need to understand with our mind to really settle, to really ground it. And in this way is that I think other therapists can work. So now I have the same vision as Angelina, though in that time I really, really would go with, with Amelia if she was forming teachers. Because in this way as well, we leave it open. So Sylvia can study the methods that will work for her the most to work with people. And Jen, you can do the same, because our reading is a science of understanding how to connect and to give voice to the spirit. And the other therapies can help us to ground it in different ways. This is what I feel particularly. So if, for example, we would include in the graduation of therapists the study of psychoanalysis of Jung or whatever, we would narrow the possibilities to people. This is what I feel. So, and this is why when I am sharing it with you, it's like, girls, this is my path. This is how I include it, because you can find your own way. So this is one point. So aura reading is to serve the spirit, and whatever whatever we know is to put in service of the reading. So the reading will tell what the reality is. And then another very important thing in the path is when you are doing a reading, you are doing a reading. You don't mix things. So of course we can do like the full aura reading in the process, as I did in the beginning. I wasn't like reading in the middle of a session because I couldn't handle it. I started doing that 7 or 8 years when I really had our reading integrated on me. And then when I read inside of a session, I tell to the person, well, this image came from your aura. So it is because it's different when I am, for example, mirroring something that I feel according to what the person is telling me, and when I say, oh, it is an aura reading, because it's a completely different effect on the person. And for me, I know what I'm doing. I am not mixing things up. Like, this is a reading that is happening. Why this is important? Because one of the things that Angelina is very concerned, and I feel it's a very important concern, is that to preserve our reading, to preserve the techniques, because we can start doing whatever things, saying that it is an aura reading. So to keep the roots, like to not mix things up, to preserve it, it is important, to follow the structures. And I just started doing that when I had the structure very integrated inside myself. Like, yeah. And I guess Angelina as well. She is reading people with her eyes open many times when she's with people. So yeah, two things just to summarize is like we serve the spirit. So whatever technique we have, whatever method, whatever the therapy that we are doing is like in service of the spirit. And two, when you are doing an aura reading, you are doing an aura reading. You will not start doing Reiki in the middle or, you open an aura reading. You are doing a reading. And I know you are not in this moment yet, but well, I am opening the vision of what it can be according to my experience and according to what I have seen inside of the school in these years, being part of, and even my challenges, because it's not that I feel 100% contemplated by aura reading only and dreams as Angelina and Peggy that are the leaderships. I don't. I want to work with the body as well. And like now I am being able to bring it to the courses, in the workshops or in the end of the courses and feeling how to how can I say fill the gaps that I feel that there are in the school. And I guess I am having a little bit of more space to do that. And well, that's it. So question sharings, I don't know how you are listening to all of it.
That was amazing. I love hearing about it because I've had this idea that I want to do it like an aura reading, and then the next session could be an integration session. It could be titled anything, right? But the concept is like people afterwards say to me, okay, what do I do next? How do I integrate this? What do you want me to do with this information? And it's like incomplete to me. And my background is like I mean, when I add it up, it's like 12 years of this psychoanalysis training, like clinically. And I have a very similar like Sylvia, except I was a licensed mental health counselor instead of the social worker. It's like, you know, really similar. So and studying body language and micro expressions and all of this stuff. So it's like we have a really similar some of this stuff. So body energetics, I've never heard of this really until you, Dara. So I'm also very interested.
I can I
Um,
can I
yeah,
can share with you and
yeah,
Sylvia all that I know because I really like it, but there is a whole area of study and I guess yeah, well, I can
deeper.
give yeah, we can
Yeah,
do like an extra thing for me to share this
I love that.
extra pass with
Yeah.
you. Hmm.
I love that. And yeah, I was wondering like, okay, should I open the session? Maybe the second session I open it with like a very specific one spirit rose or one chakra, right? Like whatever we want to dive into to refresh it. And then we go into our session after that, perhaps. And so I'm kind of like I'm putting the website together now of how I want it to be with the sessions and rose meditation and all of this stuff. So like it's in process. Like even yesterday I did like a life counseling session with somebody, let's call it, and they started crying and I immediately brought it back to their body of like, hey, where is this in your body right now? Start deep breathing. Like I started guiding her to her breath to get her grounded because she was like scattering away. And so I can see where these things can be combined so nicely. And then hearing it from you gives me more, like now I'm thinking, oh, I could even maybe the astrology comes into play for me as well. And I start adding that in. And so it's like, it's giving me ideas, which I'm really excited about.
Yes. Yes,
Thank you.
and the thing is, for example, for me, I didn't even mind to have a diploma in this because I couldn't call what I do bioenergetic analysis because I do our reading. People will like, if they see what I do, they were like, oh no, you're not. So I do not search for validation in anything. The one that is guiding me is Angelina. Somehow aura reading is guiding my work because I read and I know where to go, and I use everything that I know in favor of what I see in aura reading. And I understand that all the supervisions that I'm going to have are going to be limited because one will not know about the other. I am the reference here. And I chose Angelina to be my biggest supervisor, but yeah, it is somehow like this. And um, the thing is, like, of you name it, for example, integration session is super good because sometimes, yeah, after the reading, the person needs a space to process all of that. And you can use other tools, other ways that you feel that might work to help the person to ground it or to digest it. Sometimes people do not need it. They're fine, but sometimes they do. And then we know how to help. So the complementary therapies that we have in Brazil, for example, now there is a whole area, call it like this, is they have the same purpose that we are talking here, like other paths to help people to do their work in the way that they feel, because we all are very particular ways of developing ourselves. And I know, for example, for me, everything that I do, say the body is very important to you, the body, so of course I will I will have to work with body consciousness because this is something that is important for me. And yeah, and for me as a therapist, um, I see how important it is for us to own our own healing process, because it's through and from it that we can really develop a method or a way of being with people that works, because this is how we heal ourselves. There is no other way. So yeah, when for example, I started having a depression when I was 16, and I was going to all these psychologists, and I couldn't stand one session because I didn't feel that I was being seen. I was just like speaking, I could manipulate, I could say anything, and it was, and uh, it is because for me, after years, I started understanding, that I discovered meditation and then yoga and then aura reading and all of these things that would make me get in touch with the self, with something deeper. And then I started to understand, well, this was what worked for me, but yeah. So whatever works for us to really be in touch with our essence is the path, is our own therapeutical path. And maybe we mix, maybe we create things. And how we validate that? We validate because we work that in ourselves. And we know that works because we are doing it with us. And yeah. So that was very nice, girls, to talk to you, in fact, because it's a way for me as well to integrate all of it. Because I have a lot of experience with that and not a lot of time. and even like space to really bring it, So it was very cool to me as well, to share, because it was a big sharing for me as well.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes. So
Yeah.
and one last thing, that I talked about using rose meditation inside the session. So how do I use it? Normally, I start the session with 1 minute of silence with the person that does not have rose meditation as well, just because I feel that in this 1 minute, we change the quality of how we begin. The person can arrive, we can arrive, we can feel ourselves, the person knows, like we open the field of the session in another quality. And with people that has rose meditation, I guide sometimes the level 1, mainly in sessions that happens in the end of the day when the person is a little bit tired or a lot of things happened. I try it, and especially in the end of the day is very nice. Level 1, very fast. The person already arrives, with clean all energies that are on your way to be present here in this moment. Even like this discussion that you had in the day, or la la la, you clean and then bring your energy back to this moment. So finish, like, wow, amazing. And then in the end, I use it as well, especially when I go to the body and the person is already with the eyes closed and feeling and in whatever place. And I use the roses to clean the energies related to what we were working. So I use cleansing roses. I use uh, uh, the roses to recover the energy related to the issue in the end, so the person can be more empowered related to what they worked. And it's a way of helping them to organize the energy to be, I always ask to feel with the energy of the small golden sun, because it's the sun that has their own energy. So, they remember who they are after cleaning, after recovering the energy, like, and then when they open their eyes, like, ooh, I'm here, all that journey, and I am here now. So yeah, this is what I use the most. This is until now with the person, because with myself, I am like, wow, for example, difficult issue, the person is very angry. Ugh. Roses of protection, separation, and observation in red rose to clean the anger, for example. For me as a therapist, I used a lot the 4 roses of protection, separation, and observation. And
Question.
yes,
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you. The you're guiding them, so are you guiding them then to put red roses? Like you're like specific with the colors you're using with them because you know the issues you're trying to clean, yeah? Like it's more of an emphasis?
yes. Oh, for the roses of protection, it's me. I don't say
You.
anything to them. I am just doing that to myself.
Okay, so
But the cleansing rose and the recovery rose, yes. So for
okay.
example, if we were working into something related to love relationship and it was clearly about sexual energy, it's an orange rose. But depending, I feel that maybe there are some other energies and other vibrations there to clean. So I said, okay, first an orange and you clean in orange things. And I even mention, because sometimes things, yeah, I even mention things that were said, in the session. And then I said, well, and now you can create another rose after exploding that. You can create a rose, a color that comes to you or a color that you want to clean any kind of energy that might be there because of the process or something like it. And
Okay.
yeah, you will feel.
So when you were talking about the four roses of separation and that person being angry and you made those roses red, you were talking about for yourself.
Yes, yes, yes. So I
Yes.
cannot,
Okay.
because I
Got
am a sponge. I absorb a lot of things. So when I see, a lot of things coming from the person for my own protection, they're like, and I put a rose to clean that energy, not to the energy come to me. So I put a rose
roses. Okay. Got it.
between us. Yes, yes. It
Okay.
helps me a lot.
Perfect. And the second question I have is that small golden sun, the personal sun with the person's name, what level or is that taught?
Is that what?
What level do we teach that at, 1 or 2 for that
I,
personal sun?
uh, well, this that you can teach even in the level one because it's
Okay.
it's something very easy and very nice to the person to do. You can teach in the level one.
Got it. Thank you so much.
If
That
you have
really
if
was
you
confusing.
if you have time.
Okay.
Uh
Time dependent.
but remember that I use the rose meditation techniques to the people that are in therapy with me that have done the course.
Got it.
It's not that I am using that with people that do not. So what I did in the beginning of the year is that I had some people with me that didn't have the rose meditation, and I created a course especially to people that were in therapy with me to teach. And it was very nice, because as they were already in therapy with me, all of them, I could teach and I already explain how I could use that in the process with them. So it's something that you can do, if you already give sessions to people, you can invite them. Oh, listen, there is a way here that I think we could go deeper with your process that could help you and could help me to, work. And all of them loved, really. That was very nice. Of course, the only two people that I gave that they didn't want, but all the rest they went for it. And even if they're not practicing in their daily lives, I use that in the sessions, and they really like it during the sessions because it's a way to help us to work really and very efficient.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Amazing.
Well, so I guess for today we have it. And yeah, I keep open to talk more about uh anything that you need about our reading as a therapy and how to include it in the way of working with people if you already has other things that you work and that you like. Well, I am the person in the school, I guess, to talk about it because I really had to make my ways. So that's it, girls. So if you have a final sharing to do, feel free. We are closing the class today, like a checkout. And this is what I love doing that as well, in my sessions. I always do a checkout moment.
Yeah. I like check-ins and check-outs.
Me too. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So how are you coming out of the class today?
For me, great. I'm glad that I was able to stay the whole time. I did not think I would be able to stay for more than 10 minutes. Work
Oh,
is busy, but not for me. Probably after
wow.
our hang up is going to be like, "Pfft." But so far the universe has worked and has conspired in my favor,
Mhm.
and I was able to stay here. And I feel like this was a very personal class, and I love that I was able to be here. There was so much information that was so relevant to me. So thank you so much, Dara.
Oh, thank
Absolutely,
you,
thank you very
Sylvia.
much. I'm very happy with today's session. I'm always happy with the sessions. Today was very special.
Great.
Thank
And
you.
you, Jen?
I just feel like so filled with joy and happiness and heart. Like I have like hearts coming out, like emoji hearts. I don't know how to make that happen, but like that's just imagine it because that's how I feel. Yeah, no, I love this class. It was obviously very tailored and personal and very relevant to me and what I want to manifest and create in my life. And if a year from now we're getting together and this entire idea has been moved forward into a manifestation, like wow, what's better, really?
Mhm.
Wow. Great.
Yeah.
So, girls, I'm very happy as well, as I told you. Have a nice day. And
Thank you.
I am writing today in the group of teachers to schedule the next class and let's do it. We,
Let's.
yeah, because I count on you to help with that structure. And that's it. So
Let's make it work for
let's make
sure.
it work.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Have a
Ciao.
lovely day, guys. Enjoy
Ciao.
Costa Rica.
Thank you.